This conference has the reek of failure about it. The environmental movement is no longer fashionable. The extreme left, who largely dominate the media, whether we like it or not, this is so, they have realized that the environmental agenda is now unpopular. So they won't touch it. The New York Times has not had this on its front page. Only really hard left papers like the UK Guardian and the Independent, which are effectively Marxist run papers, and everybody knows that, and they make no secret of it. They have given it a fair amount of coverage, or I should say an unfair amount of coverage. The Guardian, for instance, said inevitably there was Monckton at the conference, eccentric peer, talking about the threat of global government, but nobody takes him seriously anymore. Even his own political party now repudiates him, blah-de-blah-de-blah. But they haven't otherwise covered this conference very much. I think the UN will be very disappointed at the very low level of coverage that the conference gets, when really they should be thankful for that, because if people were to be told exactly how the UN had behaved, not allowing the NGO representatives accredited to the conference actually to go to the conference, we couldn't get into the plenary negotiating hall, we couldn't talk to the delegates. You know, the secrecy with which the UN is now running this tells you all you need to know, and the media are the same. They want to keep this failure secret. They don't want people to know that the environmental train has finally tipped into the gulch and made a mess all over the bottom of the valley. They don't want anybody to know that. So rather than say, oh, we got it wrong, we're very sorry, instead what they're doing is they're saying nothing. And it's the same with the climate. They're just going to go quiet, say nothing, and hope that everybody forgets just how messianic and apocalypticist they were in predicting doom unless the West was shut down. Well, the West now isn't going to be shut down. And President Obama realizes it, that's why he wouldn't come. David Cameron, who is all about spin and nothing about actually doing any real governing, he didn't come because the spin was unfavorable. He read the tea leaves and stayed away. And most serious politicians and most serious media commentators would not come to this conference because they did not want to be tainted with the failure that this conference has been. What was started with so many hopes 20 years ago by another Marxist, Sir Maurice Strong, founding the UN Earth Summit, all of that has faded away, and people have become not ever more concerned about the environment, but ever more concerned at what the environmentalists have been doing and saying, the lies they've been telling, and the failure of any of their predictions of species extinction or human overpopulation or climate change to come to pass as they had predicted. They have failed and failed and failed again, and so has this conference, and that's why you won't find it on most of the world's front pages.